Xenaro Ayala, former chairman of El Partido Nacional de la Raza Unida, and an important lifelong organizer for the liberation of not only Chicanos but of all peoples, passed away recently in late July 2026. Aztlán Weekly reflects on this important figure in our community and his contributions. Xenaro's great-grandmother first came to the valley in the 1900s from Arizona. He spent his life in the LA area as a vallero. Xenaro was part of the Chicano moratorium in Los Angeles in 1970, and in 1971, he helped establish a local chapter of Raza Unida. He helped to build Raza Unida and weathered police, infiltration, and COINTELPRO. Xenaro also wrote his name with an X after Malcolm X. He married Marta Martinez and raised a family and worked in educación. Locally, Xenaro aided in organizing the commemoration of the Chicano moratorium and fought for many local issues that affect Raza. While time has revealed many elders in El Movimiento who were only looking out for themselves rather than La Raza, Xenaro remained an elder who kept the flame of resistance alive for decades, and moreover offered valued advice for social justice organizers who gained much from hearing from someone who dealt with and reflected upon the adversity faced in the exploitative capitalist society against us all. Many Raza today involved in social justice and creative outlets cite and owe much to Xenaro's vision and wisdom. Aztlán Weekly spoke to his son Ernesto Ayala and his partner Ana, both organizers and proud members of Raza Unida, on Xenaro's life and legacy he leaves to his family and for the Chicano people as a whole.
This is Aztlán Weekly, and I'm talking to Che Ernesto Ayala at his backyard. Tell us about your dad, bro.
My dad, he recently passed away. He was my guide in life. He guided me throughout my life. I think I know he gave me the example, that a man can be very, very masculine, but at the same time be vulnerable, especially with their family and his children who he loved, with all his heart, and he showed us from the very beginning. He showed us, and I know he showed me how the world really is. I'm not talking about graphically or stuff, violently, but he showed me, he taught us, this is the world, this is how it exists, this is how it is, and this is who you are and what role you play in this life, and your role is not as an individual. You're a part of something much bigger than yourself. It's the chamba, was the next generation. And that's how, he taught me, that we are a part of something much bigger, and that is, as Chicanos, the Chicano people, the Chicano nation, and in the world and in its entirety, we're a part of, the majority of the people of the world that are fighting for their liberation, oppressed people, colonized people, the working class people. My dad taught us that from a very young age. I mean, the reason my parents named me Xenaro Ernesto, Xenaro not only because of my dad, but also because of Xenaro Vázquez Rojas, who was a guerrillero, a teacher in Guerrero, Mexico, during the 60s. And he organized a guerrilla, and he died. Obviously, he was caught, right? And Ernesto, because of the mural right here behind me, because of Che Guevara, one of the greatest human beings on earth. In human history, and I will repeat that because I know there's people out there that don't like to hear that. That's who Che was, and so from a very young age, my father taught me that, you're named after these great people in human history, and you are a Chicano, and he dedicated his life to that,
Yeah.
He dedicated to organizing for our people's liberation, and I think the most indicative of that is that he knew that this struggle that we have, this fight that we have, is something that you have to think of generationally. You have to think of in the prolonged sense. It doesn't start or end with you.
Yeah.
You're a part of this chain. They call that, protracted. It's a protracted struggle. So he understood. If I actually believe this, because I would ask him, I don't see very many other kids here when I was a kid,
Yeah.
There weren't that many other kids at all these things going on, you know. And my dad would say, well, I understood from a long time ago that if I actually say I believe what I believe, then I have to have my family here, because that's how much I believe this and I know this. How are we gonna, wage a liberation struggle and I'm not talking to you guys about it? I'm not including you guys. That, what would that actually mean? So he included us in everything. Like trips to meetings and all that would become family things. So it's not like we didn't have a family life, but they became mixed. And people in the partido, became family.
La Raza Unida party.
La Raza Unida party became family, and I know one of those people that which I love with all my heart. He was there with us when my dad passed away. That's Carlos Pelayo, who I've known my entire life, and he is my family.
Was there, no?
He was there. He was there with us, when my dad, his final moments. And that's what my dad taught us, that we are a part of this struggle that it's been going on for 500 years.
Yeah.
500 years since the colonizers stepped on our shores. And then again, when the colonizers arrived here in Naslan, in 1848, it's been going on, and so it didn't start or end with my father, and it's not going to start or end with this generation, or the next generation, but it will come to a final end at one point. Hopefully it is the next generation, the way things are going. But that's who my dad was, man. And he was that rock in my life, who I knew I could lean on. He was that person that would always lend an ear, give a consejo.
Yeah.
He would tell me, as a man, está bien llorar, llora, es bueno llorar, también los hombres pueden llorar, and he told me that a long time ago, and I saw him cry, and he told me that, es bueno llorar, está bien llorar, un hombre también puede llorar, so that taught me from an early age, that men can be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with that. So that was my dad, and every moment became a teaching moment, and he built that identity in us. He was a teacher who never moved away from the barrio where he grew up in. Well, when he grew up, it was the barrio was just my grandma's house and probably a few other houses speckled, but he stayed there.
What city?
In between San Fernando and Pacoima, right next to the Pacoima Wash.
Yeah.
So I guess depends, 'cause that's one of those contested border areas. It's going to be San Fernando or Pacas, but we won't get into that. But that's where he grew up. That's where I grew up. And we still live in Pacoima. Not exactly that part, but we're still in Pacoima, ¿verdad?
What do you do here in Pacoima? This place, like, what do you offer kids over here?
Well, that's the Graph Yard. You go on Instagram, you look up the Graph Yard, and you'll find this. There's a voucher or people paint. We have shows, a few movement things here and there. That we've had study groups. We've had even just raza doing like tributes to the Virgen and stuff like that. Fundraisers for people that have passed away or people that need help, that are hospitalized or medication or something like that.
Well, if I could put in, like, you guys offer an outlet, no? You have a house, your family's here, your ladies here, your children are here. As we can hear, I'm Chambo.
Anna.
Say hi.
Hi.
And Anna's here too.
Compañera.
But what do you guys offer the community as a reflection of what your dad preached, basically, no? Or taught? Like, shared space, no?
Yeah, like space for people to express ourselves, to be in a safe space,
Yeah.
And again, it's been to, like, it's mostly catered to people that, graffiti, ¿verdad? Graffiti art.
Yeah, tag artists, yeah.
Pero yeah, we've had all sorts of stuff here. As one of the big parts there is like ska shows and different shows like that. Well, we just had one. Was that 2 months ago, I think, to raise funds for raza affected by ICE. So this is all stuff done by the partido. And obviously my family takes an intimate part of that, with that, including my compañera Ana, being central to a lot of those things.
At that, Ana, do you have something to mention about xenaro, about the philosophy, the mindset that it's on display here? I mean, there's no way around it.
I mean, as I was telling a friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, how I grew up with my two parents, very present. My hardworking father, very working class, migrated here, started working at restaurants in Chicago, in Colorado, meat packing plants. I mean, in el campo, all day. And then in the early 2000s, he started working at a factory that later was transferred to China. And so I grew up with very working, traditional parents. My mother cooked at home. So that's the only exposure I had out of all my 10 siblings, right? I'm the youngest of 10. That's the only exposure I had to what my idea was of elders and the consejos that my parents told us, right? And so as I grew, got to my 20s, I think my fondness for elders was greater, and I knew that the relationships I held with elders would mean something. And now I have gotten to know Ernesto's parents and other elders. I grew very fond of their consejos, their words, their very unbiased points of view, with some lógica, theory in there, and, lots of esfuerzo. Like, yeah, you're here, can't just sit around and not do something, right? And I think when it came to speaking with xenaro, he always received your message. If you had a question, if you had a thought, or you wanted to get to know a little bit more about him, I think he always came from a place of non-judgment. First, he would listen to you.
Yeah.
He would make sure that he understood what you were trying to convey. And he would make it known, okay, is it like this? Okay, do you want to know my opinion? Do you want to know what I think? And then he would give you his opinion, and non-judgment, and very straightforward, but also very driven. Like, hey, you are here. We are in a space that continues to oppress our people. What are we willing to do about it? And it doesn't end at us having a nice, comfortable job, because if we do get the comforts of this society, of this Americanism, of this whatever this is, right, this occupation, then we have to make sure that message is going back to the people, right? Like, what are you trying to... Our duty is not there. It doesn't end at academia. It doesn't end at us having a nice union job. It doesn't end at us having a family and making sure that our kids are able to go to school. I mean, that is part of it. That is part of the shift. But as long as our raza is still oppressed, as long as our people don't have accessibility to food, to land, right, to political self-determination, and it's not just your duty, it's not just your neighbor's duty, it's not just my duty. Yes, I'm part of that, right? Like, I've done my job as Don Xenaro. It's all of us. It's a whole movement, right? It's a whole community. It's a whole nation that we are trying to build here. We got to do more work. And so he always left it at that, right? It's like, okay, our work is far from over, and this is part of it. We have to keep going. We have to keep going.
I think what this place offers, this whole place, like this house, the backyard especially, is a place where traviesos, like necios, like little kids that, like, we want to express ourselves, and we see it on the walls. Like, that's what it is. It's just what it is. And we can do that on the side of the freeways. We could do that on, like, bordering conflicted spaces where, you might get shot for doing that. But that I understand this place offers a safety zone, or a safe place to just express yourself. And we see Che Guevara on the wall. We see placas all over the place that are just wanting to be seen And by being seen, they want to be heard, and so on.
And I think that the environment, right, the layout of our city.
Yeah.
My dad was really into plants, right? And so everybody has something to contribute to our surroundings, right? When you walk out here and you see the layout of our city, there's fruit trees, there's native plants, there's still tending. Who's tending that land? The hardworking people, right? And I think that when you go into anyone's yard, if you went into Genaro's yard, he and his wife, who's very esteemed, you got a sense of that. You felt close to home because that was home. And so anyone who opens their doors and welcomes you, you feel at home. This is what our comunidad brings for generations. Like this is part of our safety, our solution, our loving ways. This is how we establish community. And it's nothing new. It didn't just emerge with nonprofits or, the next green development.
The next popular.
It's been here.
Yeah, we ain't going nowheres. Che, again. Well, we have Chambo. Chambo, you want to come in? You want to say hi?
Ven, papi. You say hi, papi, yeah?
Can you say hi? We also got Mono, little perrito from Pacoima.
And the gallos that just came over.
Yeah, we had
two houses down.
We got plants. We have murals. We have a space for Raza to come through to be ourselves without having to worry about, I'm going to get a ticket or I'm going to get like La Chota or they're going to come at me. Nah, this is a place where, like I'm saying, or at least from my view, it's safe. Like we don't have to worry. Every time I come here, it feels like home. And that is what it should be. And that is what I feel Genaro instilled in the community through his son, through his grandchild. Like we need to keep building more spaces like this because if not, what's gonna happen? It's gonna die out and they're gonna build a Starbucks over it? Nah, chales, dude. Like we're good. Like we got our own stuff, and we'll keep building, keep moving forward. Che, Ernesto, parting words? I would say stay up. Your dad would tell me your dad was strong, man. He would tell me you can't just, existence is not just resistance. You have to do more than just exist. You have to actually do something. And you, Anna, the baby, the family, the kids here, the placazos on the wall, this is a space that's doing something considerable and meaningful. But do you got any parting words?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess what my dad would most want is for and what he would literally most want is for the partido to grow.
Yeah.
For the movement to grow. The partido in particular, to grow.
Yeah.
And that our people, there's a lot of good people out there, but pero you have to get involved.
Yeah.
You have to build this. You have to, lead the way to that world to Aslan.
Yeah.
That my dad was one of the people that saw it and believed in it so much because he knew that we can do for ourselves.
Yeah.
We have in the past. We did before these colonizers came here. And then we did it once again every time that we fought one off, including here when we fought Spain. And we kicked them out. So we can't do for ourselves. We see examples all around the world where people who are colonized, they're not conquered, they're colonized, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Invaded, that are people that are oppressed and downtrodden are able to rise and make for themselves. We see that all throughout history. There's no reason we can't do it. And that's what my father would want. That's what he would want his raza to understand, that we can. Si se puede.
Hey.
The partido is very much active here in San Fernando Pacoima, throughout Aztlán, ¿verdad? If you're hearing this, Aztlán Weekly, ¿verdad? If you're hearing this,
Hey.
get involved.
Working kids, people, gente, raza, anybody, where can they go to be involved with El Partido?
We have social media, Instagram, la_raza_unida party, or la raza unida.sfv. If you just look up La Raza Unida, you'll see the other chapters.
And the website?
razaunidaparty.org. And there's even more contact info right there. Yes, get involved, ¿verdad? We will be doing a memorial there in the neighborhood, ¿verdad? Soon. So, keep checking on Aztlán Weekly, keep checking on those pages. If you go and follow them right now, ¿verdad? We'll be putting up that information, but that's what he would most want, ¿verdad? And I know that, because my father and me had a lifetime of discussions and talks and connections, and learning from what he knew, and even him learning, because he would say, "You never stop learning." He would ask me questions at times, "What do you think about this?" Or "What was it that you said? I liked what you really said that one time," or even correcting me, or stuff like that. That was my dad, who never stopped being a student. And he will probably tell you that himself, ¿verdad? That you never stop being a student. You're always learning. He did say that. And so, seremos como Genaro, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Genaro ayala presente, aquí en Aztlán.
Your dad wasn't just a teacher, he was a student, but low-key, like, a good-ass teacher, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is what it is. Your dad, like, he came through with words, with his ear, and his vision. Yeah, just being there around your dad, man, like, it made an impression on me, as I told you, and I told Anna, and I told, Chambo.
Present.
Yeah, your dad was a down-ass fool. I don't know what to tell you, man. He was cool.
Exacto, right?
Yeah, man, like, presente.
Aztlán Weekly would like to thank Ernesto Ayala and Ana Rosa Murillo for speaking at such a difficult time. Don Xenaro reminds us that he is an enduring example for all and will be remembered for the clarity he gave many to resist the lies of oppression and to organize for the truth of liberation. La lucha sigue. Ernesto Ayala presente. Long may your memory reign.